One of the things that Microsoft cannot afford to do is rest on their laurels with the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. They've done a really good job so far, and they've made things like Game Pass even better. And for me personally, I think that is incredible when you look at like the value that they've managed to kind of get across and things like that. So I'm very excited to see what the future holds for the platform. And again, they're kind of speaking on this from what I can see, right now. Anyway. Microsoft will have to continue to have a steady output of games and great platform, great hardware, all that kind of stuff going forward. So when we look at this and we go, okay, well, what can Microsoft do in the future to continue to compete? So Xbox wants all of its games in its portfolio to matter, and I think this is what they kind of reiterated. This was from a recent interview. So following its Activision acquisition, Microsoft and Team Xbox now have more studios and games than ever. If there was ever any concern about how well this is going to be managed, or if certain franchises will be overshadowed by others, there's apparently no need to worry. Speaking on a podcast recently, the president of game content and studios at Xbox, Matt Booty, revealed how Microsoft was quick to clarify with its new teams at Activision Blizzard and now King that all of them matter and all of their games matter. And this is generally the approach Microsoft has been taking for some time now. And this is what Matt had to say exclusively, and I'm going to kind of reiterate this, and I quote, "The first thing is how important it is that all the games matter. On one hand, we've got these huge franchises like Skyrim, like Halo. You've got these things that have been around for 20 years. On the other side, you've got Tim Schafer making games like Psychonauts, and you've got teams like at Obsidian, which made Pentiment. These two extremes and everything in between matter. Our job is to create a studio system where those things all coexist, and we create a place where creative people feel that they are safe and supported and that they can be their authentic selves. They can do their best work, and that creativity isn't just a sort of possibility, that it comes from an inevitability. Whether it's Psychonauts and Pentiment, whether it's State of Decay, whether it's Gears of War, whether it's Flight Simulator, we just have a variety, and it all matters because I think all of those games help contribute to a healthy portfolio. There isn't this sense of a hierarchy where the ultimate destiny is for everything to work on Halo." Now, as noted by Booty, Microsoft and Xbox division won't necessarily be pushing smaller teams into other projects like Halo. It's more about letting these teams do their own thing with full creative freedoms, which is something that I think a lot of people were talking about. Microsoft teams owned by, many teams that are owned by Microsoft have discussed the benefits of working under the Xbox banner. And the other day, for example, InXile Entertainment spoke about how the studio could focus more on the creative aspects of the business, and newly acquired studio Blizzard also mentioned how they're looking forward to being more independent, whereas Activision was making these different studios kind of do sort of what they wanted to. But speaking of that, Clockwork Revolution, which is one of my most anticipated titles from InXile, they're talking about the benefits of it, and it's kind of well known that Microsoft likes to let its studios do their own thing nowadays, and it seems like it's no different for InXile Entertainment, who is working on the RPG game Clockwork Revolution. In an appearance on a recent show, the studio head Brian Fargo mentioned how much the situation has changed for the developer since being acquired by Microsoft in 2018 and joining Xbox Game Studios. He said, and I quote, "The financial worries have disappeared at the studio, and now his team is able to completely focus on creative aspects of the business. Microsoft also remains hands-off." And Fargo explained how there's no micromanagement at all from its parent company. He says, "Microsoft bought us because they trust us. The studio's upcoming project, Clockwork Revolution, will be steampunk-style first-person RPG and will be day one into Game Pass. As for a release date, well, it's coming in due time. Although to be clear about it, it's sort of odd that it was actually downloadable to pre-install on your Xboxes already. So maybe it might be one of those late games next year. I don't know, but my money would probably be on 2025 sometimes." Fargo's thoughts about having more financial security and freedom under Microsoft really echoes the comments from many other teams under the Xbox banner. Blizzard, who was recently acquired, also looking forward to adding like those benefits and things like that. So I'm definitely going to link this and you guys can check that out. But this is why it's important. See, like, even though I'm a big Xbox fan, or you could even call me a fanboy or whatever, Microsoft has always, like in the past, if your game wasn't going to sell like a Halo or Forza, they weren't really interested in it. I mean, you might get a chance with your game, but if it didn't do those numbers in sales, you weren't going to get to see a sequel. You weren't going to get to do any of that other stuff. So when you see that they've kind of come from that, right, and then you look at the strategies that they're working on versus what Sony's working on, it's a pretty different strategy, right? Like Sony is very much, they're not taking very many risks or anything like that. For Sony, they're all about, hey, can we do a sequel? Let's do another sequel. Let's do this. And I'm not saying that's bad. Like, I don't want people to think that, hey, I hate PlayStation or that I hate sequels. Like, I thought God of War Ragnarok was good. I thought, I'm looking forward to a Ghost of Tsushima sequel, things like that. The thing for me is that it really just kind of comes down to like some of the original stuff, and are they going to be able to continue to deliver on those types of things. So that's kind of the hope for me anyway. I want to see that kind of come to fruition, and again, that's really kind of what it comes down to. So I want to see Microsoft be able to continue to compete. I want to be able to see Sony continue to compete. But seeing that Microsoft is saying, okay, well, we want to utilize our IP, I think that is a tremendous thing, and that's exactly what they need to do because, at the end of the day, if you're not leveraging all these IP that you have, then what the hell was the point in the first place, right? And I'm just being honest about that. If you're only going to do like things that are going to possibly be the highest thing or whatever, then we're not going to see variety. One of the things that I've disliked about this generation and, to an extent last generation is why does it, like, people know we want Mass Effect games. They know we want, and listen, again, I know I'm stating sequels, and I was also talking about how I like fresh new things as well, so it's a bit hypocritical, but it's like, why can't you do both, right? Like, there's so many different studios and things like that. Like, why is it that we didn't get a BioShock game last generation, or we didn't get a GTA game last generation? You know what I'm saying? It's sort of crazy to me that, the things that we've gotten maybe haven't been as as big as what we've seen before, or it seems a little bit redundant, to say the least. But again, I would love to hear what you guys all think, though, because at the end of the day, it really kind of comes down to your thoughts. I mean, I have my own thoughts and things like that as well, but I think the reality is it comes down to what you guys all want too. So let me know what you guys think. I certainly would appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys all have a great day. Rack them up, fact them up, crap gamer them up, all that kind of good stuff. If you guys do have a free minute, please like the video. I do daily content. I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews. I appreciate everything that you guys do. We're trying to do something here. I don't know, probably not going to be successful, but I'm going to keep trying anyway, so we'll see. Thanks for watching. Peace.